This is August 24th, 2023, and it's a Thursday. After work, I had a dinner at a curry and rice place where the business is managed and owned by my buddy from childhood, Jung Gi-hwa, and his restaurant name is Ebisu. He lived in Japan for 30 years, or he continues to live there basically, but he lives in my town, Gwangju City, just next to my office. I work for Korea Telecom, KT, the number one carrier in the world, and I am a very proud employee of my company, KT. But my CEO and the management still needs to hire me for the overseas position. Yes, they need to transfer me to our own office in New York and California. I can contribute hugely and tremendously to my company's growth and expansion there, or all over the world, as a matter of fact. But they still need to contact me, and they have not. Regardless, tonight we discuss this and that, and my friend Buddy Chung said maybe I should go into the old or used or secondhand machinery import and export when I retire. I have to retire in 5 years' time. I'm still young at heart, but in Korea, you have to retire when you hit the age of 60. So that's inevitable. I have to face the music and find another job after my retirement from KT, the number one carrier, telecom carrier in Korea. So I got interested in his offer. He's a curry and rice restaurant owner, but he still does like a moonlight job of moonlighting. Yeah, side gig of importing Japanese goods into Korean market. So he's like a premium is like a 10%, sometimes 20%, depends on the how far he can help with the importation and the extent of how much he is involved. So 10% or 20% cut or premium sounds very enticing. And he suggested, since I can speak English well, I need to look into the European market, especially Eastern European market. But yep, that's one thing I am interested in too. But I am more oriented for the Canadian or the U.S. market, and also Australian or New Zealand market. Then, thirdly, I would be interested in the European market. So let's find out how Canada uh, offers the opportunity for export or import from their own perspective, import of the machinery from like Korea or Japan, and what hurdles are there. And this article is from borderbuddy.com. I just pulled this article and checked out several titles of the subjects they are handling, and I am trying to read it loud so that I can focus more and practice speaking English. I will focus on the exact pronunciation and instant pickup of new words, cliches, expressions, idioms, slangs, and so on. No slangs, just a slang. And most of the times there weren't new words that many, so it will be easy breezy reading. So here we go. By the way, since I am Korean, I don't have small opportunity, only a very limited opportunity of using English. So that's why I'm trying to read an English article each day whose length could be 20-minute or 30-minute read. So here we go. Border Buddy. Home. Which types of machinery are you allowed to import and export? That's good. It looks like not all machineries are allowed for or permitted to import and export. Obviously, the arms making machineries or high-tech or state-of-the-art machineries are on the watch-out list or for control list, I think. Which types of machinery are you allowed to import and export? An import and export business focused on machinery could be a lucrative project in Canada, where the machinery market is worth billions of dollars. But moving machinery across borders, that's quite a cliche. Moving machinery across borders. Okay, there's no just borders. Moving machinery across borders can come with taxes, duties, and other restrictions. Learn the basics of importing and exporting machinery in Canada to see if it's the right business move for you. Yep, right business move. Moving machinery across borders. The machinery market. Machinery is a very general term that can refer to a wide range of products. In terms of importing and exporting, machinery refers to the machine industry or companies producing and maintaining business machines of all kinds for either consumers, other companies, or governments. If you are considering starting a machinery import and export business in Canada, you should narrow down what field you will be working in. That's good. Narrow down. That's another cliche. You should narrow down what field you will be working in. You should narrow down what field you will be working in. That's a good word. If you are considering starting a machinery import and export business in Canada, you should narrow down what field you will be working in: commercial and household appliances, ovens, refrigerators, air conditioners, and other large appliances. Okay, I thought machinery means like die, or boilerplate machine, very big machine that would drill a hole or carve out some gear, pinion, and so on. But under the machinery category, there is commercial and household appliances. And it means ovens, refrigerators, air conditioners, and other large appliances. Industrial machinery used for heavy and light industry, ranging from packaging and labeling equipment to food processing and textile equipment. Industrial machinery, I was distracted by thinking about some lady that I met this afternoon. I was on a business trip to Hwasun, and I stopped by some familiar looking cafe, and the lady was like 5 years senior to me. She and I both graduated from the same middle school. She was just plain looking lady, but she looked very honest, and she used to be a very devoted Christian. Sometimes I revere Christians. Sometimes I despise them, especially the bullshit Bible stories. But regardless, she looked very kind, generous, and we sat down and discussed this end to improve the both interior and outerior of the coffee shop or cafe. So I was distracted by the lady. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I was. She looks alright, but so on the industrial machinery, machinery category, there's machinery used for heavy or light industry, ranging. Okay, we say a heavy industry, but light industry, I seldom encountered that expression, but we should remember that both heavy and light industry exist, ranging from packaging, labeling equipment to food processing and textile equipment. Food processing and textile equipment. Machine tools. Tools used to cut, bore, grind, or shear, usually to create other machines or manufactured products. Machine tools. Tools used to cut, bore, grind, or shear, usually to create other machines or manufactured products. Cut, bore, grind, shear. Construction equipment. Machinery that moves earth. Plumbing, heating equipment, or parts for mixing and paving. Machinery that moves earth. Earth-moving machineries. That's kind of cliche. Machinery that moves earth. Machinery that moves earth. Plumbing, heating equipment or parts for mixing and paving. Farm and garden machinery, tractors, animal feeders, lawnmowers, etc. Tractors, animal feeders, lawnmowers, animal feeders, and lawnmowers. Electric motors and generators, turbines powered by gas or steam. Wind turbines or sets that generate electricity. I am interested in these machineries too. Electric motors and generators, turbines powered by gas or steam, wind turbines or sets that generate electricity, tractors, animal feeders, lawnmowers. Another type of machinery that you may choose to import or export is electric or electronic equipment. You will likely incur taxes or duties on importing EEE or exporting it to another country. Electric or electronic equipment, EEE, electric or electronic equipment. And if you are trying to import or export used machinery or EEE, you will run into many obstacles. 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 Bans and restrictions on importing used machinery or EEE. Several countries have implemented restrictions or outright bans on importing used machinery or used EEE. Outright bans, fast rule. Outright bans on importing used machinery or used EEE. For those countries that do allow imports of used machinery and EEE, you may have to meet certain requirements or pay extra duties. Countries that restrict or ban used EEE include for those countries that do allow imports of used machinery or EEE, you may have to meet certain requirements or pay extra duties. Countries that restrict or ban used EEE include India, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Egypt, China, Ghana, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, Uganda, Indonesia, and Hong Kong. Oh man, Korea is omitted or excluded. Many of those countries are poor, except Singapore and Hong Kong. If you want to export certain types of farming or agricultural machinery, you should also be aware that several countries restrict imports of this kind of machinery to protect local manufacturing sectors or to prevent the spread of disease. When considering the kind of machinery you want to import or export, you should always look at the rules of the country you'd like to export to. With so many bans on various types of machinery, or equipment across the world, which are often temporary, it's best to scope out the situation before you start your machinery import-export business. Canadian businesses that want to import and export machinery should work with a customs broker to ensure they follow all the proper regulations. Importing and exporting machinery in Canada. If you want to import machinery into Canada or export machinery from Canada, you will have several considerations to take into account. To take it into account, you will run into many hurdles. Energy efficiency reporting. Businesses that want to import machinery or EEE into Canada must undergo energy efficiency reporting. If you import a product that uses energy, you must file an energy efficiency report with National Resources Canada, NRCan. Energy-using products may include household appliances such as dishwashers or air conditioners, lighting such as fluorescent lamps, dry-type transformers, polyphase induction electric motors, some electronics, and more. Dry-type transformers, polyphase induction electric motors, some electronics, non-regulated vehicles. The machinery you import machinery that you import may also be considered a vehicle, such as a farm tractor. Non-regulated vehicles. The machinery you import may also be considered a vehicle, such as a farm tractor. Canada has several import regulations for vehicles, including planes, boats, and cars, under the Motor Vehicle Safety Regulations. But some vehicles are non-regulated, so you don't need to meet the same stringent import requirements on them. Some examples of non-regulated vehicle types include lawn tractor, golf cart to be used expressly as a golf cart, Segway, electric wheelchair or similar personal mobility aid, farm tractor, agricultural combine, forklift, backhoe, skid steer front end loader, crawler mounted excavator. While these vehicles do not have to comply with the Motor Vehicle Safety Act, They still must pass the Canada Border Services Agency CBSA entry requirements. CBSA will have to confirm the vehicle's status as non-regulated, inspected for soil contaminants, examine ownership documents, and collect applicable taxes or duties. If the vehicle or equipment you are importing is used, you will have to undergo further inspection. Documents for importing machinery. If you are importing heavy equipment into Canada, you may need the following documents: commercial invoice or Canada Customs invoice from U.S. Exporters, manifest or cargo control document, bill of lading, shipper's export declaration, commercial invoice or Canada Customs invoice from U.S. exporters, manifest or cargo control document, bill of lading, shipper's export declaration, manifest. You should also reference Canada's import control list to see if the machinery or heavy equipment you are importing requires a special permit. An experienced customs broker can usually help you with the permit process. Export control list. In addition to controlling machinery imports, Canada also controls some machinery exports. The machinery you are exporting that would be subject to control include military goods, or equipment, of course, or technology and computer equipment. When it comes to machinery, there isn't a blanket ban or rule on importing and exporting because machinery is such a wide category. Machinery is such a wide category. There isn't a machinery section on the import or export control lists in Canada. You will have to determine which rules apply to the machinery or electronic equipment you want to import and export. To save you the hassle, Border Buddy can handle the import and export of your machinery and electronic equipment into and out of Canada. As an experienced customs broker, we can ensure you meet the right requirements moving your machinery across borders. See, we have another same repeating expression. Moving your machinery across borders, right? Give us a call today to learn more. Yeah, that's another cliche. Categories: adopting and importing pets. So they handle the both machinery and the animals. Border Buddy data, cross-border shopping, duty and tax, summer series. I wonder what the summer series is. Tips and tools, vehicle import. So this article was prepared by Jay Moore. Amanda Burr at Border Buddy made our shipment seamless and her customer service was outstanding. Without question, we will work with Amanda and Border Buddy again in the future. Thanks, Amanda. Without a question, without question, right? Without question. I used Border Buddy. What? It's a testimony, man. Popular. I used Border Buddy when we're in a jam with a small tire shipment to Canada. Just called them randomly after a Google search. Blair handled our case and was in constant communication with updates and got our shipment released within 24 hours, even though we were starting the process from scratch. Based on this experience, I can't recommend Blair and the Border Buddy team highly enough. Even though this was just a small shipment, they handled it like it was the most important on their agenda. We will definitely work with them again in the future. Hopefully, though, not on an emergency basis. Thank you. Google verified customer reviews. Border Birdie. So from this article, I learned such expression as moving machinery across borders, which we are just starting the process from scratch. Yeah, give us a call anytime. Give us a call. EEE stands for electric and electronic equipment, and so on. But not many words that there was just one word that I wanted to look at. Without question and without a question. Without question is cliche. Without a question is basically dumbfounded, so that you don't have any question to ask. Shipper's declaration and so on. Well, before I go, let's look up the expression one more time to see if I am correct or wrong. Without question. See, many Americans also probably get confused, right? Without a question. They are not wrong, but they have a difference. Without question definition, man. Yeah, here it is. You are without question to emphasize the option you are expressing. He was our greatest storyteller without question. You use without question to emphasize the opinion you are expressing. He was our greatest storyteller without question. Without question, you use without question to emphasize the opinion you are expressing. He was our greatest storyteller without question. Undoubtedly, definitely, undeniably, surely, more symptoms. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for listening. Take care. Looks good.